Just the worst.
What?
Come on.
Yahoo!
Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you can figure out who done it, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. Now then.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is it points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after—
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! I don't know!
everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all—
No, that's wrong! Are we sure Hiro really made those—
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking if the handwriting's obviously different. When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell—
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense! You just—
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious—
So what you're saying is—
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in—
What? Now that's a bold assumption! And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So—
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it! I got it!
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the...
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did... Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they... But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repositories. It would be very strange indeed. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you. You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree! You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch! You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. I cannot agree!
This should prove it! If you're asking for proof that the dolly... When I found the dolly in the repository, there was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark. The killer probably rolled the dolly through, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. What kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't pop. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious. As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong! You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly with, but if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually...
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a...
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on, or...
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the...
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you You all got a good look at it, did you not? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased... So long as those facts exist, the individual inside the suit and the culprit...
Yeah.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore instead of seizing on one viewpoint?
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour. I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after...
That was when we saw Celeste's picture, and as it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice... We were soon joined in our